The first thing you do is horizontal lines and vertical lines and diagonals with your brush and the ink, and then pretty soon you start to do a Chinese character or 2 or 3 or something. Those characters are so different from Western writing, the alphabet that we know. You really got to focus on it, and first you just start out with black and white, and then you do a little bit more work as time goes on with a little bit of gray, making different shades of gray with your black ink, adding that to your paintings, and the painting style is to just have a little bit of color. I think the first time that I started to do any color, though, was the little winter birds picture, and it's just got a little bit of brown in with all the black and white and gray. Then I think with each succeeding painting that I started working on, it just got more and more color all the time, and until I finally ended up with the cherry blossoms and the 2 little birdies there. It was kind of fun to break free of the black and white and just start doing all this color. So the earlier pieces are mainly black and white, and then I'm anxious to get started on something else with some color again. And I do love birds. Well, I just really enjoyed painting these birds. They've got all sorts of funny little moods and little crazy things that they do. My nephew was about 12 or 13 years old. He started taking classes at this little studio that is in the home of the teacher Bob Schmidt, and it's called Laughing Water Studio. And it's close by here, only about a mile away. It's Chinese calligraphy and landscape painting. Bob is not Chinese, but he is studying with a Chinese master calligrapher and teacher. It comes down from his teacher Hong through Bob to us. Bob's been doing a lot of paintings based on Lake Superior. So those are all originals of his. That's from a Chinese landscape. The one to the left of that and the one to the right of that are originals that he did. And then he also wrote the poetry that's done in calligraphy there. He wrote it in English. The translation is up there, and then Hong helped him to translate it into Chinese. And there's a lot of writing on that one. So here's the thing, you get your painting done, you're happy with that, and then you've got all this calligraphy, and for a while it's so daunting, you could mess up in there, and all that. It's not like working on vellum, you don't scrape it off. That ink is permanent. But that's one thing that's kind of neat about it too, so you can do a lot of things with the black ink, let it dry, and then you can go back in and do all this color. And my nephew had a piece in a nationally judged competition that was hung out in the Burnsville Performing Arts Center. That's his piece over there, that large calligraphy piece. He was 15 years old, and he won one of the best in show in calligraphy in a show that was judged by Chinese artists. One comment that a lot of people have made to me about my nephew Andrew's calligraphy piece there, because that's a big piece, there's a lot of calligraphy there, they just say he's just fearless, and he is fearless, he just does it, And I thought it would be nice if he could exhibit his work here. He was very interested in doing that. It kind of went from having a show of his work to having a show of our work. Then I thought it might be nice if our teacher had some pieces in as well, and he was interested in doing that. And then finally, the 4th person in the show is a woman by the name of Linda Powers. She's someone who I think is a very, very talented artist. Went and kind of looked in her portfolio and see what she had that she thought might be worth framing, and she's got 5 really lovely pieces in the show with us as well. Sometime I would like to use a photograph or something that I've taken, and then it would be completely original, and give it a try. So one of these days maybe I'll get to that. But in the meantime, I'm still working full-time, and I have a morning off, and that's when I take my painting class. So I guess I just kind of enjoy the fact that I'm able to do this right, at this point in time. So we'll see. I mean, I thought it would be nice sometime maybe in the future to do another show if they'll have us.